hope you found what you were looking for, because those ruins are about to be a distant memory. Like you, I've come in service to my country and my god. This is a spring from which the Dream Scourge flows, injecting poison into the veins of the island.
No, a cleansing fire. Poison or cure?
The same poison we burned out of Fur Messiverno.
The only thing you burned was hope. And I am determined to get it back, even if I must take it from you.
Charming. Stand by my side, and we can strike a blow at the Dream Scourge. And at Sapadal. We cut off an infected limb. Nothing more.
And now that severed limb has come back to strangle you.
I'd been watching you, Envoy. You, who survived when so many godlike fell. We fought side by side. No one knows your strengths better than I do. What lengths you'll go to on the path to greatness. No one has even glimpsed what you truly are. Not as I have. The light that shines from within you is blinding.
The undead woman has a silver tongue, you see.
I even asked the gods what made you so remarkable. And the burned queen opened my eyes to what you are. We knew the chaos of the living lands had an origin. How could I have known that you were its offspring? Different wars on the same battlefield. There are two plagues in the living lands. Help me destroy one, and the other will follow.
Ashes. Nothing of the Akita will remain.
We may not burn out the Dream Scourge here, but we can burn out its symptoms and take the fight to your patron.
Spirits cry out. Bury the fire, but still they rage.
Is her first instinct always to destroy stuff and hope that fixes things?
Always thinking with your sword. You zealots never change. I happen to like these ruins. They've been very informative. Without them, I'd never have learned there was a new god in the living lands.
Another reason why they should be destroyed. Sapadal is dangerous, but an archmage is more unpredictable by far. No, She thinks she can frighten us away and have the ruins to herself.
Oh, but you should be afraid. Archmages and gods can be worse than death. Either way, you won't be doing anything to the ruins, Inquisitor. I won't permit it. Stomp your feet as much as you like. Your opinion doesn't matter to me.
You forget your place, Archmage. No matter. I am happy to remind you.
And I will end you, Inquisitor. I will seal your unlife in ice for an eternity. Do not for a moment think that you possess any power here. You, and more importantly, your people, will regret all of it. See, you talk too much for a glorified weapon.
I want our envoy here to make the decision as to what will follow.
Oh, you have claws and the courage to use them. I do love that.
I have an alternate solution to the problem at hand.
This should be amusing.
I am not talking to you, am I? Don't interrupt me.
Yes, honestly, it's quite simple. I can sever the connection between the Adra in the ruins and the rest of the living lands. It will isolate the dream-scourged essence and halt the creation of new dream thralls in Shatterscarp. But those that exist will remain. My solution will end the plague in this region, I believe, and keep Ludwine from having to do terrible things to those nice ruins. I knew I liked you for a reason. Yes, there is a catch. It's also what you may call a large one. Severing the Adra will require the use of a truly immense amount of essence, which, well, will result in a few deaths.
A few deaths? What about Polici? And the other Furians? And Polici?
Gods, you're right.
Gentle sleep. One moment day, the next, a poppy's dream to carry them to the Garden of Night. They would feel no pain.
I'm so very glad you recall.
Well, in layman's terms, she's going to rip the essence out of a bunch of people in Shatterscarp. For what it's worth, her theory is sound. She could stop the Dream Scourge. In Shatterscarp, at least.
A few dozen people may die. Possibly 100 or so in the more dire scenarios. There is no control over who will perish in the process. But it will stop the Dream Scourge from spreading in Shatterscarp. No new Dream Thralls will be created.
I once thought of pursuing such an idea, but only after careful study. What she suggests is anything but careful.
It's not an ideal solution. But it is easier to save a life when you've amputated the necrotic limb, so to speak.
At least I'm not the only rational voice in this debate. She would sacrifice the very people we're trying to save, and for what? Not even to destroy the Dream Scourge. Merely to slow it down.
Destroying the ruins and killing the dream thralls within is also a short-term measure. Ludwig's solution will eventually result in the same number of casualties, possibly even more.
Unfortunate, but such is the reality of our situation.
So long as the Dream Scourge exists, more people will become infected. And the infected will take more lives, and this will continue indefinitely.
She has no idea what the consequences of her actions might be. And neither do you. Envoy, I want to show you something. I swore an oath to my goddess. A solemn vow that I would give everything in service to her. Even myself. And I did so, gladly. Zapadal wants the same devotion from you. The only difference is, you never had a choice. Look at the consequences of their stewardship. Plague, calamity, death. The Living Lands deserves better. Envoy, we have an obligation to scour Zapadal from the Living Lands before they destroy us. Starting with these ruins. Whatever you do, make sure the decision is yours, not theirs. Zapadal will poison your judgment if you let them. You owe Zapadal nothing, and yet they demand everything. That is not devotion. It's cruel.
What an amateur. She accuses Zapadal of what she intends to inflict on you. Don't fall for it.
Yes, quite difficult to decide whether to believe your new god or the angry skeleton actively threatening us.
Godlike. I leave the choice to you. Both options will bring harm. The question is, which will bring more good?
What a relief. You really scared me there, Envoy.
I don't like our options, but maybe we can learn something from this one. Let's just hope Kolichi is all right.
So be it. Sapadal's hold over you is stronger than I suspected.
Rune, strengthen the living leaves. We twine.
Attune your soul to Sapadal to assist my focus on the Adra. You're the only one who can do that part. And Yatsli, come, help me. I think you'll enjoy this. Marinzoth Clathan, Ed Marslante.
Why are we deferring to that maniac Ringgrim? Ugh.
I don't trust this.
Godlike. I am delighted to have been right about you. I was hoping you'd have the cold logic I wanted to see. We've dealt with the Dream Scourge, but you'll still have some cleaning up to do. Now that I know this was all because of a new god flailing in their cage, the Living Lands is no longer of interest to me. I think you made a choice that benefited the ultimate good. There will be no more dream thralls. You may, however, have nightmares, knowing you've caused so many casualties. But that is for you to wrestle with. I'm done here. However, I have one final question for your young wizard.
For... me?
You have shown a great deal of talent, Yatsli. Few can harness so much essence with ease. I could use your assistance. And the companionship. It's really dreary being alone. Should you wish to return with me, I would happily take you on as my apprentice. The rest of the circle do not often visit, which is good because they're tiresome. You, however, are a power worth shaping, and rather delightful to boot.
Well, obviously, I'm... Wait. Really? You want me to... Wow. That would be... amazing! But, I have to think about it. At the very least, the envoy would be lost without me. And so would my lover. Though the idea of finally devoting more time to magic is... tempting.
They clearly need someone with a brain with them. Besides, I have centuries. Whatever you decide, it will be some months before I depart. You know where to find me. Be clever, godlike. Don't think too much with your heart.
Save the forest.
It wasn't supposed to claim our people!
We need to talk. You let a mad archmage unleash death with a spell. I need to know why.
Exactly. Everything in those ruins is irreplaceable and must be protected. And if we ruin Ludwig's day, so much the better.
Inquisitor Ludwig made her intentions clear. To destroy any evidence of Sapadal and subdue the living lands. We can't afford to give her a single victory, Kai. Even if it hurts.
Ludwig's a monster. But how can you say Ringgrim's any less of one?
Ringgrim knows more about the Dream Scourge than we do, and we know more than most others do. She found a great solution, but it came with a great cost. What more could we expect?
Do you hear yourself? You both saw what kind of person she is. The twisted little world she built for herself. If ending the Dream Scourge means handing our fate to someone like her, then perhaps it's not worth the cost.
Kai, let's be honest. None of us are walking away from this with a clean conscience. But unless someone makes the tough decisions, the Dream Scourge will kill us all. Or worse. That means living with our nightmares. Embracing them if we must.
Right. Getting killed by monsters is one thing, but turning into one...
We stand here bickering while the solution is just over the horizon. Nothing matters but the garden. Shatterscarp, even Emerald Stair. They're distractions by comparison.
Envoy, we need to discuss what you did in the ruins. I just hope we made the right decision. Those ruins are priceless, and I truly look forward to exploring them again in the future, but I don't know that I'll ever truly accept what we did. What I did. Usually I know the right answer. It's obvious. Here, though... I know. We've seen enough pain caused by the Dream Scourge. Things have been... unreal. We spoke to actual ancient Akedans in the ruins. I was able to ask questions and get answers. Of course. Though I sense that you're not fully aware of just how amazing this all is, so... I'll let you wait back at the camp, like a good little boy. But to go through the trials ourselves? Oh, could we be any luckier? Must you try to ruin my fun, dearie? Well, I have to start writing this all down before I forget. But do return if you think of any other juicy details. Careful what you wish for, darling. So, the Godless, or the Akeda, as they called themselves, were the original folks who lived in the living lands. They arrived on the shores of a new land and settled there, living with the land instead of trying to tame it. You sound certain. Is this something Sapadal told you? Well, they would have been there, wouldn't they? That means I was right. Well, was there ever any doubt? The Godless are so singular. Their art and architecture, you never see it in Rawatai or Ishamatal or, well, Adir. But in their artwork, they reference escaping, fleeing, seeking refuge, so they must have come from somewhere. My guess, they originally came from Yesua. Yesua, a continent, cut off from the rest of the world, hidden by eternal storms, one of the 3 hubs of the Angwithan Empire. 10 years ago, you could say it wasn't real, that it was a dream, but they said the same of Ukaiso. Suddenly, the appearance of a mythical land doesn't seem so implausible. One might stay in your dreams, darling. There was some kind of schism, an ideological one. From what I can glean, the Godless were staunchly against the gods, and hence their name. There are even some not-so-kind murals of the gods. It seems like the Godless really took their anti-theism seriously. You're right. But no one knew that until your trip to Nakukubel. Hence the name Godless. Now that we know that Sapadal exists, it changes everything we thought we knew about the Akita. I knew following you was a good idea. It might have shaken my research to its core, but that's what makes it fun. Well, I think we've covered everything, don't you? Rather, as much as I think you'll withstand. Hope you enjoyed talking about this as much as I did, dearie. How can I help, darling? Don't mind if I do.
Can we talk a moment? I wanted to pick your brain about Shatterscarp. How much do you really know about Adra? Not bad. Adra is a physical manifestation of a metaphysical phenomenon. A mineral that takes our souls from death to rebirth. We severed the Adra in Nakukubel to slow down the Dream Scourge. But at what cost? Still, I wish we had better options. The souls of the dead who go looking for a passage to the beyond will have nowhere to go. They'll be lost in darkness. Some will find their way to an Adra pillar, far from Shatterscarp. But others could wander this land for centuries. A watcher, maybe. It's a shame we haven't got one. Try as we might to help others, we won't always succeed. Even the dead can suffer the consequences of our actions. I just wish the world and its problems would leave us alone. Even for a moment. Give us time to focus on our mission. Ourselves. We'll get there eventually. Just need to wade through the bullshit first. Right now we're up to our necks, but it can't keep rising forever. That's what I tell myself anyway. While I have your ear, can I ask you one more question? Much appreciated. Something about Inquisitor Ludwig has been getting to me. She seemed eager to distinguish your Adiran loyalty from your nature as a godlike, as though the two are incompatible. She believes you can be loyal to your country or to your nature, but not both. Do you find that unusual? To be sure. It's just... when you rejected Ludwig's offer, she wasn't surprised. As though she saw it coming. Ludwig clearly respects you, but I don't believe she trusts you. Maybe she never has. Anyway, that just had me thinking. Could be nothing, or could be something. Time will tell. Get some rest. You deserve a nap. For that matter, so do I. Until next time.
So, we found a map to the garden. Now we see how accurate those ancient godless cartographers could possibly be. Not sure how helpful that map will be, really. There's probably a reason no one's been to the garden in centuries. We'll see. We don't know what's really there, other than your secret god friend. I figure either it's a complete dud and there's nothing really there, or we all lose our minds the second we show up. Either way, was it worth it? Who knows? I get it, those visions, or whatever you're having, must be really disturbing. But how do you know they won't just get worse? I guess that's not my problem, really. My job is to keep you alive, whether you've got a god in your head or not. Just don't do anything stupid, all right? Anyway. You too. Listen, that back there, in the ruins, that was a lot. I know you passed 3 trials, but I'm not sure what that means exactly. Huh. I mean, weren't you talking to them already? It's not that I didn't enjoy tromping around in the ancient death trap, getting bossed around by spirits and all that, but I really do hope this was the last time. That kind of humidity does terrible things to my beard. Anyway. Not before I've done some reading.
Being here brings back memories. My favorite subject. What do you want to know? Night, envoy.
You know what I miss? Flashberries.
Oh,
How could they? Beloved that you are, and still they bared their fangs. We blessed the Tabaru Sanakis, and they prick us in return. Blood on the wire. Roots like a wall. We only meant to protect. We thrashed against the blinding light to keep the Akita safe. We never wanted this. So many seedlings lost. We grieved, but we saved many. The burned queen. She hurt us, hurt our people. She did this. Yet still the branches swipe. We mourn, we could not be to blame. They should have shared our love. Their spite? This we could not foresee. But you are here. A green shoot after the fire. You would not raise your hand against us. Words like bile. This is not our way. Sleep now. Dream of golden poppies on the road ahead.
Who needs fabric? We still have stuff.
3 dozen dead, of no apparent causes. They just fell over. Like their hearts were stopped in their chest. What did you do, Envoy? I know you're involved somehow. Bullshit. There was always another option. Something better than this massacre. Dozens are dead, Envoy. Their loved ones scream for them. What was all this for? Do I? All I see right now is death and loss. Perhaps history will remember you more kindly than I will. I hope your fucking decisions haunt you forever. You've cost so many families their loved ones. I'll send word. No one wants you here. Least of all me. Get out of my sight, Envoy.
Safe travels to you. Temerity sent word. She said you can go. I'm sorry, Envoy. I don't have much more to say. You were responsible for all this death. But I hope you don't end up the same way, too.
Ludwig may have a skull for a face, but her fury was clear enough. If her path crosses ours again, it'll be ugly.
Frankly, I'll take any opportunity we get to ruin Ludwig's day.
I'll say this much for the Inquisitor. She's stubborn, like a rat. And I plan on hunting her like a rat.
I'd say we shouldn't stay on her bad side, but I'm not sure she has any other sides.
You know her better than any of us. What's your read?
Right. Focus, people. Try not to think about how we're up against a dead woman who threatens the entire living lands.
Yeah. Instead, think about the soul-corrupting plague that also threatens the living lands.
Well, the joke's on her in any case. Ludwig won't get very far without that map. She'll be scratching her skull.
Somehow, I don't think she'll let that stop her for long.
And Ludwig definitely strikes me as someone who doesn't leave food on her plate.
Yes, but isn't it more fun that way? Keeps things spicy. Ludwig and her steel garrote have the numbers and the power, but we have spunk and a map. And that might just be enough to find the garden before she does.
We're all competing for the same thing. A place we barely understand, with no guarantees of what we'll find there. Still, I am determined to reach the garden, above all else.
Ugh, that's just a pile of Sokka. Right. The voice in your head that none of us have ever met. I hear dying has some interesting side effects.
Hey, we are all on the same side here, Marius.
You won't find a blessed a thing. This wild beetle chase of yours is a page-raku waste of time. To get to the garden, you have to go through Galawain's tusks. The land is made of lava and acid. It wants to eat you alive.
So it's tough odds. We've gotten this far together.
Tough odds is an extra Zarb jumping in at the last minute. This is a long trek, on foot, through a land that can barely support life. I don't have to be a Blessed Oracle to know this won't go how you think it will. And all your clues come from one source. You've been following a voice in your head. What do you know about Sapadal? How do you know you can trust them? That's good for you. What about the rest of us, huh? Will your secret god bring us all back or just you?
What's on your mind, Marius? What bothers you so?
Because I can scream until I'm blue in the face, and you people would still rather trust the Envoy's pet headache demon. And now you want to drag us through the deadliest region in the world because a sleeping god said so. Oh, I've been acting odd. Me. Need I remind you that we're talking about jumping off a cliff because your head voices tell us to? I'm done here. Do whatever blessed planning you want to do. You don't need me for that.
Let's just take a breath, Marius. You don't mean that.
Nope. I said what I said. Come get me when it's time to go.
Poor Marius. Something's really rattled him.
I've never seen Marius like this. Something's going on with him, but I don't know what. I hope so. One of us should talk to him. If something's eating at him, I don't like leaving him to his thoughts.
Well, hopefully Marius will be okay soon. We have to get going if we want to get to the garden before Ludwig.
We won't get far unless we look after each other. Now's your chance.
I know what you're gonna say. Marius, you need to slow down. Think about your feelings. Well, I don't want to think about my feelings. So just let me be alone for a bit. How should I know? I don't know what's going on in my head half the time. Just the thought of going back to Galawain's tusks makes my heart feel like it's going to explode. I sweat, my ears ring, I can't breathe. When it seems like we're really heading there, I feel like I'm dying. Right. Thanks. I understand not wanting to go back, but why can't I just thinking about it makes me feel ill. I need some time alone, Envoy. I need to get some rest. I'll be ready to go when the time comes.
We've got company! Dodge this!
Looks like the deal is escalating nicely. Time to replace that all! This will hurt!
Not bad, envoy.
Slow down, dearie!
Seek!
Faster, I said!
Then roll!
Another soul for the wheel! You won't get Who's next? Anyone?
I can bring back someone to help you. Please, if you just...
You'll not leave my side until I am what I was. Do not ask again. Or... Traveler, what business have you here with me?
Looks like that woman and the ogre aren't getting along very well. Be careful getting close.
Well, what is it? You and I are talking. A rare luxury for one of my kind, I've found. Because they attacked me. Because now, you and I must talk. If you care for her life, we must talk. I am ill. I am dying. But I am not beyond hope. Not if I can get a cure for my molder lung in time. You will. I am glad that... I apologize. My breath left me. Galeen said the caravan carried a book. One with a recipe that should cure my condition. Bring me the cure. When you do, I shall let Galeen go free. Thank you, traveler. The caravan is northeast of here. You may speak to Galeen too if she can be of any use. We will be here waiting.
Someone's eager to meet us.
have done it better.
It burns! Defensive! Faster, I
Never had a chance. Quick as a fox. What's the leg? Your reputation is well deserved. How did the steel garrote get here before us? Ludwig is a sneaky one.
Envoy, over here.
Ugh.
As I live and breathe, the faithless envoy. Ludwig finds your loyalty a touch diminished. If you're looking for the Inquisitor, she's hunting a lead to the garden through its twisted silver roots.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
We'd be there already if not for the roots. The tower calls. The roots strangle. The roots say your name, Envoy. They say you told them to do it. I feel... I can't think straight. Body's full of roots. Pulling me. You did this, didn't you? The roots try to choke the steel garrote, and we will strangle them in return. Cut them, bleed them.
That's the Dream Scourge talking. We should put them down. Give them a swift end.
Blood and smoke, smoke, death. I'll stand down, I'll stand down. But my people won't.
It's the envoy. Let's get
It must be the garden. Don't know what I expected. It's beautiful, even from afar. But how do we reach it? Didn't come this far to give up now. Search the tower. Must be something else.
We are close. Break the bars.
Don't think so, dear.
Come on.
say we're on the right track. So close, but yet so far.
Much as I want to get to the garden, I'm loath to swim through that. I don't think this broken bridge will help us. Didn't we read about another way into the garden, though? The other path is hidden well. I certainly don't see any way across the acid sea. Unless the Pargrunen are acid resistant, I think that's a safe assumption. To Solace Keep. Let's try to get there before the Steel Garrote can cause trouble.
I'll follow your lead. What happened here? Let's have a look.
This would be a great spot, but there are so many of them.
Well, if you insist.
Ten Roth!
Enjoy the pain, dears!
Speed up! Another soul for the wheel! That was a close one. What scared these people into building such an imposing fortress?
Outsiders aren't permitted in Solace Keep. Turn your ass around and go back the way you came. I could care less if you fought Magrin herself. Death is better than catching Michala's ire. It's a violation of Tenet 3 of Nandru's 9 creeds. No person excepting wardens of the Pargrunen shall be granted safe harbor without express permission of the council, heretofore established by Nandru, the first warden, or without the attestation of an established, honored warden of the keep. That is correct. Without the Solace Council or a warden to vouch for you, your presence in the keep is forbidden. No warden, no keep.
We really will have to drag Marius into this, won't we? The poor dear.
You again. I told you the first time. No escort, no entry.
Let me out of here right now!
Will you pipe down over there?
I'm innocent!
No, you gave the goods back. That's something else.
I demand that this farce of a justice system answer for itself.
Do you do this every day? Move along.
Oh, thank the gods. Finally.
Renato here was selling our grave goods to traveling merchants. Don't let him tell about maps and causes. He's a common thief.
You know him? Then you can advocate for me.
You've got your work cut out for you. But if you want to try, go ahead.
I admit I took a few things from Pargrunen memorials. And I admit the caravans paid me a good price for them. Expeditions have costs. You can't line a pocket that's full of holes. Sansa has no idea what the living lands are like. He sits in his emporium and thinks it's the Deadfire. Well, it's not. Every day out here is a matter of life and death.
We do fine without grave robbing.
I just needed to survive.
You can't just barge in and tell us what to do with our prisoners.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but I'm not paid enough to argue with it. You're free to go.
About time. I owe you, whoever you are. Actually, wait, I can do better than that. Take my notes. Just do me a favor and don't tell Sansa where I've been. I'll come up with something. As soon as I've found a place to bathe.
Oh, how cozy. The blood really brings everything together.
That's an experience I won't repeat.
You again? I told you the first time. No escort, no entry.
Envoy? I'm not ready to go to Solace. Maybe there's another way. Maybe we can fashion some kind of flying boat? Fui tu meio, Envoy. I don't know. There's just so much. Right. Maybe it would. Thanks, Envoy. I feel this fear inside, this heart pounding, can't breathe. It's like I'm dying every time. I've been bit by core vipers, fallen into old spike pits, drank cure water from a Zarep shaman, and it never felt like this. It's as if the thought of being here, of returning home, is the deadliest thing I can imagine. And it's getting worse. I imagine so. So much pain in that weapon. So many deaths. Just touching it would probably reduce me to tears. It's more than just going home, I think. It's everything. The politics, the people, the way I left. I betrayed the traditions I was raised on, and I don't know why. I've seen that island off the coast all my life, and I grew up hearing tales about the garden. But it always felt like a legend, like those old tales about the gods. No one has been there in centuries, as far as I know. I don't. They didn't really encourage us to go looking for it either. There is something that's bothering me. Specifically, if you can spare a moment. Since we entered the Tusks, I've been getting these flashes of memory. Like there are answers in my head I can't get to. They seem to be about a village, somewhere north of Solace. Fear and sorrow, but also answers. Right. Well, thanks. I know it'll be easier if I don't go there alone. Anyway. What do you want to talk about? This place was named after Galawain, but I always thought Magrin held more sway here. Lava, high temperatures, and a giant Bleste volcano in the middle of the region tell me the goddess of fire had something to do with it. Even Solace has the good sense to send a prayer or two Magrin's way. Hard not to when your home is surrounded by Magrin's fury, but sure, give Galawain the glory. Maybe that's why Magrin's so Bleste angry all the time. Let's see. First rule in Galawain's tusks is to be grateful for every breath. The air itself is poisonous here, if you breathe enough of it. Don't overexert yourself, and keep your heartbeat slow. A wet cloth over your mouth and nose will help. Remember that this place wants to kill you at all times. Act like your every step is putting you in danger. Make sure to clear your eyes, ears, and nose every now and then. Ash builds up faster than you'd expect. You know, if you're this interested in survival in the living lands, we can take this even further. We've done all right out here, but there's always more to know if you want to survive. So, what do you want to learn? Right. A lot of that is physical control of your movements. The rest of it is simply knowing where to step. I'll show you what I can, but you'll have to do stretches in the mornings, preferably where Yatsley can't see you. Now let's begin. Right. That about does it. You're a quick study. At least now I don't have to worry about you so much out there. I can spend my time watching over Kai and Yatsley. Teaching is its own reward, I guess. Anyone else finding it hard to breathe?
Oh dear. Focus on...
We're on the precipice of something magical. You can feel it, can't you? The garden is within our grasp. All we need now is the courage and wisdom to brave the unknown. Your confidence is refreshing. I almost hate to ask, but are you afraid of what's to come? I'm not judging, just curious. Indeed. Whatever happens in the garden, it won't be the end of our problems. I believe, for the first time in ages, that I am not afraid. I used to care so much about discovery, invention, achievement. But deep down, I was afraid. Afraid that I wasn't living up to my potential. The only power he had over me was the power I surrendered. Since we met, everything I believed has been proven wrong. That the island can be controlled. That I alone can fix it. Even my parents. Gods. They really had no idea what they were doing. Just like me. They truly did. But I'm not going to repeat their mistakes. I'm so tired of being afraid. I need to accept my limitations or embrace them. Even if I'm wrong again, that's part of the journey. I have no idea where it leads. And for the first time, it's fine. Perfectly fine. Did I? Huh. I don't know what I expected. Feels nice. Glad I could get that off my chest. We have bigger problems to worry about, but I appreciate these little moments. You have an inquisitive mind. I respect that. If you ever feel your education is missing something, I'd be happy to teach you what I know. All you have to do is ask. Excellent. The Imperial Court taught you well, but I suspect there were gaps in what they call an education. If there's anything you've been dying to learn from an Animancer, now's the time. Unfortunately, that can take a lifetime. It's the sad reality of our work. But I'll give you the short version. Now, let's begin. You drifted off for a moment. Were you paying attention? Really? What's the last thing I said? Well, aren't you the clever one? No harm done, of course. I don't mind if you catch a few winks. Besides, a little nap is good for the soul. I slept through my share of lectures, and look how I turned out. That's all I have to teach you for now. I'll chime in if anything else comes to mind. Oh, yes. The little butterflies in my stomach are more restless than ever. When I joined you, I needed to put a stop to the dream scourge. So much has changed since then. There may be nothing for me in the garden. Nothing I haven't learned outside of it. But I still want to see it for myself. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited. The garden will be the discovery of a lifetime, even if I don't have an agenda. On a journey such as this, it's better to cast aside your expectations. They can only weigh you down. The better question is, can I still be an Animancer? Could I even make a difference? By burning Fior Messiverno, the Steel Garrote declared that animancy is not welcome in the living lands. And then there's the Dream Scourge, unraveling civilization as we know it. I don't know where that leaves me. The work my parents started may have no end in sight. We don't even know if the living lands can be tamed politically, much less spiritually. She thought a lot of things. Not all of them were true. All I know for certain is that I've been going about this the wrong way. I should be an Animancer for the right reason. With the Dream Scourge, I haven't got one. When I do, I'll be sure to let you know. After all, you've been so patient with me. You deserve a little closure. I'll tell you whatever I know. I've heard the Wardens are very set in their ways. For better or worse. Usually the worse. Vidaro tried to form a trade agreement with the Council. Copper and glass in exchange for grain. But it went nowhere. Perhaps. But I think there's more to it than that. The Wardens value self-reliance. Maybe because they have an inflated sense of their own importance. No offense, Marius.
No, you pretty much got it right.
They have a righteous duty to protect these lands, and believe that it can and should be done without the help of outsiders. It's a bit like shooting yourself in the foot because you don't trust anyone else to wield the gun. Thanks for talking.
The Rawatayans love to boast about how barren and rugged our homeland is. But we've got nothing on the Pargrunan living here. Especially if it's all you ever see. According to Marius, his people are forbidden from ever leaving the Tusks.
I did tell you that, didn't I? Must have been drunk.
I'm all for pulling together, but that's just oppressive.
You're not alone. A lot of people in Solace would agree with you.
Exactly. It's not a home if you have to lock people in it. Ravatai has a similar problem. Between the constant storms and the rocky soil, the lands never supported us easily. So many of us find work as sailors and mercenaries. We explore the world as soldiers or as part of a trade mission. We venture out. We're encouraged to. Not everyone, of course, but Rawatai's hardly a dying country. Everyone in the Living Lands faces struggle, but people choose that, and usually to escape something worse. Forcing people into a lifetime of hardship for the sake of principle or tradition is a different matter entirely. Never. The Pargrunan of Solace are notoriously suspicious of outsiders. Though, from the looks of this place, Solace's real concern has got to be keeping its people in, not keeping the rest of us out. We'll be covered in ash by morning.
Did you leave any... anyone back home?
I left everyone I knew when I left. Thanks for mentioning it.
No, I mean, did you leave someone special?